Но сталася така проблемка, що я подивилась прохождення, і я поняла, що нічого нормально у нас не вийде сьогодні, потому что там треба вот реально долго и нудно буде мучиться в этой типа медбашне. Ну, мы знаем по моему прошлому прохождению этого участка, что я там долго и нудно ховалась. Хрустик Геймс, ну, типа Хрустик Геймс, короче, ну, ніяк його там, короче, він там бегал. Вот реально, я не знаю как, но він там где-то, когда треба було вже виходити оттуда до того врача, він тупо просто пробежался, типа, немножко. Но, блин, я так не смогу. Просто тот, короче, чужой ходит просто за ним, получается, по пятам, как бы. Из-за чего я из-за чего я там, короче, и не смогу. Ну, то есть я буду бояться, типа, тем более там треба быстро это все делать. Він, типа, именно чисто за спиной, типа, ходить. Там или придется довго ждать, пока він там пройде, типа, як. Ну, или реально попытаться, як ми это делали, типа, ну, тобто, як делав вот цей геймер, что просто треба буде пробежаться. Но я не знаю, куда бежать просто, очень весь прикол. Поиск водорослей, ну, давайте попробуем... Давайте пройдем, а чтобы нет. Ага. Як вариант, я можу, в принципе, сейчас в Alien Isolation зайти, как бы, но давайте мы это сделаем немножечко пізніше, где-то через полчасика. Вот я сейчас постримлю полчасика Геншина, типа, як потом уже... Займемся вот Alien Isolation. Попробуем пройти. Как-то, конечно, попробуем пройти, потому что там будет сложно, сразу предупреждаю. Там реально будет сложно. Нам еще и за аптечкой. Просто я жду, пока мене типа, зарядятся наушники, чтобы я могла в одне ухо вставить наушник, типа, як и за цим прохождением, как бы. Чтобы я просто знала, куда и что идти, якраз таким образом будем играть, якраз-таки. То есть я буду дивитися прохождение, заразом попытаться точь-в-точь пройти, як він. Тобто, типа, ходить і все прочее. Ну, просто, блин.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives... Not that there's anything wrong with this place.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when...
Okay, when did popping on a thin air become all...
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking, not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's... Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like letrofosilor or blubber profiterole.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to...
Not yet, maybe, but... let me first be clear that I'm...
Sorry! We're sorry! Please... Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! Emma wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you...
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you don't...
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then... Fine. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter? I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. Well, but given the present circumstance...
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made... Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. Of course, that can't be undone now. But at least I can say that I know...
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely Okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to
Так,
get
стоп,
rid of me.
наушники подключились.
Since I'm
Я
just
сейчас
an ordinary person
посмотрю.
now, they'll probably true, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid.
Well, is there anything else we can do?
Так, ага, так я могу сейчас, в принципе, постримить, как бы.
Have I not made my... sorry.
It's all right, Farina. Paimon did... Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Так, ага. У мене просто телефон буде закривати, ну, незначительну часть екрана просто на телевізорі. Я просто не знаю, типа, или сейчас, типа, поиграть. То есть я зря, наверное, в Genshin почала играть, треба було все-таки попробовать Villain Isolation. І тільки потом уже, як не получилось бы Villain Isolation, тоді вже зайти в Genshin. Давайте тоді я сейчас, пока тут хотя бы это, пройду немножечко.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the sign.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my...
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes... Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now?
Sorry. I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she would...
I see. Well, circumstances have... You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original...
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scope...
Jeez, is Lady Farina really...
Only joking, calm down. Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for
Look, there's no point. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team...
Yes, I'm completely confident. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized Alright, I'm coming. No...
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a
I was just ever so slightly concerned. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that.
You really have a knack for asking them. I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be...
There's no need to think like that. I was wondering, if this troop is so important to all of you, if the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put... Everyone seems so devoted to the troop. I'm sure if you keep chipping away...
We all want to believe that, but everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true... But still, no sentence...
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength
and then disaster.
Yeah. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides...
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this... I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. I can, however, provide some artistic but only if you feel this is something that would...
Oh, most definitely.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, something I've begun to realize since my departure from the opera Epicles. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can say, what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things...
Ah, still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation.
The name's Dad Swine. It's...
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances. All right, follow me. We'll go to our...
Так, что я решила? Сейчас я зайду в Alien Isolation, мы посмотрим, смогу ли я пройти вообще хотя бы там половину от своей миссии, типа из медбашни. А если нет, тогда мы вернемся в Genshin. Как такой вот вариант. Вот и все. Или же завтра уже, потому що сьогодні просто я і так зайшла поздно, тобто я планувала, конечно, раніше зайти, хоча б там в 9 или в 9:30, чтобы хоть успеть и в Genshin поиграть немножко, и в Alien Isolation, если что, зайти поиграть, или вообще в Alien, а потом снова в Genshin просто зайти, вот так вот даже, но не получилось, не фартануло. Так что придется сейчас одни выбирать. Я выбрала пока Genshin, но это был поспешный выбор. Нужно было все-таки в Alien Isolation зайти тогда уже. И попробовать пройти еще днем хотя бы. Хоть там немножко. Просто я этот день не смотрела прохождение. Тому я там и не знала, что и как. Ну что ж, тогда, пожалуй, давайте сделаем хоть что-нибудь, так сказать. Ну что ж, тогда заходим в Alien Isolation.